Craven Week over the last 3 seasons, so we can expect to see a lot of these guys stepping up into senior rugby very soon and making a big name for themselves. There's Andrew Strauss, and sat alongside me, Andrew Patterson. Who did you play SA schools?
No, Craven Week with Garth Wright in 1981. Right. But just having a look, what a wonderful list of names. I was fortunate enough to have commentated at the Craven Week last year in Wellington, and I think we're going to see a fantastic game today. Particularly, I'm interested to see the return of Bismarck du Plessis, who's been really hammered with injuries. But what a wonderful team, and I think both coaches, Jacques Hannekom, who's a teacher at Paul Roos, and David Wesser, who's a teacher at Grey Bloem. I think we're going to have a wonderful 80 minutes of rugby.
Yes, and just keep your eye on a few of these players, and a few of these names will be recurring down the years from now on. You're seeing the likes of Scout Berger already making a name for himself as a Springbok, and it won't be too long before several of the guys that are playing in this game now are also Springboks. Tian Strootman, who's the Executive Director of Western Province Rugby, may be a concerned man because of the conditions that have prevailed in Western Province this week. There have been floods in certain areas, but right at the moment it's not raining. There is, however, a strong wind blowing off the mountain, and at the moment I would suggest that it's Free State are going to be playing into that wind. Now we're just waiting for the officials. All the players were ready in time, but the officials were a little tardy. There's Peter Lowe, captain of the under-19s last year. And Linston Manuels of the Boeland is the referee. Harry Skunwinkel will be the TMO. Now, away we go. The high ball launched by Mayor Bosman comes back on the province side. And difficult ball to deal with, so Devan Back decides to just walk off the park. Western Province 22 on the right of your screens, and here is Bismarck du Plessis, the family farmers in the Free State, and taken at the tail by Lance Andrews. Referee says not straight.
In a couple of years' time, these guys will be playing Currie Cup. In fact, a couple of the players have played for the Currie Cup teams already. Also another one to look out for, Leon Koromaka, player of the tournament last year. I believe he's got quite a horrific eye disease, and which could be affecting his eyesight. His manager Taste tells me they are working on it at the moment, and we all hold thumbs that can be sorted out.
Oh, it's the first I heard about that. Leon Koromaka will be in the number 7 shirt for Western Province today, and he is one of those names who's been mentioned I reckon for 3 years now. Whenever I come to Newlands, somebody will tell me that they saw this kid Koromaka play, and he was a year younger than everybody else in the under-19 side last year that represented South Africa, and he's obviously mature, very young. Bat with the pass, Ishmael Dolly picks it up on the half volley and gets it into touch. Another man who played SA under-19s last year and very highly rated.
His first-year student at UCT, studying social science. Very shy guy, but what a footballer, tremendous talent. Not making a good job of that.
Straight. Also not straight.
Got a choice, Captain?
Yes, Bismarck du Plessis shaking his head there, but I would suspect, Andrew, that the wind is affecting him more than somewhat.
Very much so. 47 millimeters of rain fell in Cape Town over the last 2 days, particularly in this area, and the field is very, very wet. I think it's definitely going to have a negative impact on the game today.
Bat is caught and in trouble on their own 22 at Province. Advantage being played to Free State for a little nudge forward, and it'll be a Free State put in at the scrum. Now, the people you see in the stands now are the brave ones.
Well, they don't have much to do this afternoon. Well, they've got family playing.
It probably means they haven't got Supersport at home. There's so much on Supersport today. I've been watching the Test match in Gaul and the Tri-Nations game in Sydney. And I must say, I have a certain amount of sympathy for those of you who are deciding not to come to Newlands, but rather watch it on the telly.
Okay, oppervlakte is nat. Kom ons hou hom reguit en steady. Engage.
Having trouble at the engagement.
Maar boetjies, ons gaan heel dag skram.
Schalk Ferreira's got to get a lot low. He's a big man. He's got to get his back very, very low. And he's still too high at the moment. Not a good scrum by him.
Pick up off the back by the young man I was telling you about, Rian Swanepoel. And it comes to Bismarck Duplessis. Big tackle from Peter Grant, but Duplessis makes it available.
Okay, that's fine. Play on.
And they drive straight through the middle, the big Free State pack. Out it comes. Meyer Bosman with the pass. It's plucked out of the air by Alwyn Hollenbach, another SA Schools representative. Now wide is a chance here. There are extra men. It's taken on by Raoul Lausen.
Got advantage. Still playing advantage.
Now they're going to have to come back the other way, and this is Sanelium Kize hitting it up for the next phase. Driven up to within 15 metres. Back it comes from Stefan Liebenberg. Strauss with a little kick through, and he might get the try. Strauss! It has been awarded by Linston Manuels. He decides not to go upstairs for that one. And Andre Strauss gets the first score of the match.
Yes, Andre Strauss played last year for Free State under 20. S under 21. He's the captain. What a superbly placed grubber kick. Just bouncing right for him. And wonderful try. Very well talented team. Using his right foot, putting it through, catching the Yandre Duplessis, the fullback, out of position. He followed up well with his teammate Alwyn Hollenbach right on his shoulder. And that is superb play. Just turning the defence around. They came up very, very flat. Just reaching. His teammate right on his back. It is good play. Very talented players. Rassie Rasmus, I believe, is also very much involved in the technical statistics side as well, Andy.
Restart is gathered in by Hayes Breedenham. Liebenberg trying to dig it out. Meyer Bosman just a little bit off the side of the boot. There was good pressure coming through.
There's 6 former Grey Bloom players playing here.
Only 6?
Yes, 6. I've marked them down.
Now, Ibrahim Murat is the hooker for Western Province, and there's a good take there by David Sadi. Just a real touch of the ball for Karamarka. Very strong in the tackle, gets it away well, and then it's driven up by Murat. Good platform in the middle of the park here. A little wraparound move with the halfbacks has gone awry though, and here's a chance as Saneli Mkize puts it on the boot downfield. Jandre Duplessis is the last line of defence for Western Province, and here he goes, back up, sets the next phase. Might have hurt himself in the breakdown. Here goes Dolly with that show of the ball, and then it all opens up in front of Bat, up to the 10-metre line of Free State. Well, the man tackled without the ball, and that is going to be a penalty.
A good passage of play there by Western Province. Ismail Dolly showing some deft skills, but just over elaboration of the runners, and the timing wasn't good, but they've got the penalty, and Dolly succeeding with a good touch kick. Dolly in the scrum off position, and the big Ibrahim Murat, really no man's land there, but fortunate the referee calling back for the penalty.
So Murat to put the ball in 50 metres from his own line, and a good take by Sadi. Free State defending well at close quarters, and there was a little knock on there, so pressure coming through from Free State defending their line.
The base wasn't established well for that drive. The body positions were too high, and Free State just nullifying that, and the use it or lose it principle was applied, and they lose the possession.
Liebenberg Oh, Bosman put under pressure in front of his own line, but he does well, and here come Free State. Taken by Jean-Andre Currie. Pass out wide to Tabela and Gunyoza. And it comes, Dolly, Wachenstrom. Good pass from him, taken on by Sarul Putkita.
Fine play on.
Still in play. This is good recycling of the ball. Dolly looking for a ball carrier and finds Murat. 22-metre line of the Free State. In comes Enwell Alexander to try and clean out.
Play advantage.
Little chip over the top, might have been the wrong option on that occasion. And eventually the ball in touch, but it'll be a penalty to Western Province. Advantage had been played by Linston Manuels.
Advantage, last week.
Very kickable position, and Province playing downwind to boot.
Captain. Pose.
Province doing well to keep the ball in hand, but guilty of playing touch rugby and just running across the field. They have to take the ball up front. Frank Wachenstrom in the scrum off position, the little chip. But the referee had called for the penalty already. Frank Wachenstrom, another player highly rated with his workload, and big example to all wings to be very industrious and really look for work.
So Dolly, this to narrow the gap to 4 points. And no problem.
Okay, that's blood.
It's good to see players like this coming through the ranks of SAFU. Lofi Elof picked him up a couple of years ago, that academy here. And he said this chap's going to go places, and good to see some of the systems really working. And the guys, this is our future really in a couple of years' time, as I mentioned earlier. Many of these guys are going to be wearing a green and gold jersey.
Mayor Bosman with the restart. Taken in by Sadi.
Okay, let it go now, White. It's a rock. On me.
Dug out by Bat. Bit of a wobbly service from the scrum half, but Dolly's got good hands. Yes, he's built like you want to see your fly halves, isn't he? Low to the ground, but packed with muscle.
It's interesting to see Stefan Liebenberg is playing for Free State, is from Paul Jim, and Divan Bat having a good tussle this afternoon.
Bouncing all over the place. Province eventually claim it. Now that's gone forward. Referee was right in line.
Yes, Dolly's got to be careful of not running sideways. He has to take the ball up, and he's been found out there. He's got to personally take the ball up. There he goes, running sideways, and that's absolutely perfect. There we see the Free State guys just lining him up.
Listen, you two.
Referee
Wait until the ball
resetting.
Okay. Engage. Yes, hold it now. Hold it. Blue. That's all. Okay, stay on sit.
Now, a back row move, and then a little chip over the top from Liebenberg. Jean-Andre Currie is the last line of defence, and he has to get his skates on.
A very good scrum there by Free State, particularly Raul Larson, who's giving Skulk Ferreira a hard time. And Yandre du Plessis had no other option but to go out with that ball, but a very good scrum by Free State. Good right shoulder.
Now, can Bismarck du Plessis throw it in straight? Yes, he can, and a good take by Gees Bredener. Now, they're looking to maul it over the line here. It's still in the air. And now on the ground, Liebenberg, Bosman, Strauss, and Hollenbach held 5 metres out, but right under the posts. Oh, lovely timing of the pass there. But they haven't got over the try line, a couple of metres out, and in fact not releasing is the call. Province will have a clearing penalty. There's a lovely piece of camera work there. What, me?
It's Hollenbach from Mossel Bay last year, making his presence felt. They have to take this flat line, attacking Free State team up front. Good drive there by the lock forward, Jaden Hill. Beg your pardon, was Wouter Moore.
Every Murat putting it in. It's been spoiled. It actually came back eventually off the head of Nico de Villiers on the province side. That. Oh, and Karamarka had got himself into a little bit of no man's land there, and as a result they've gone back 10 metres. Dolly trying to run it out, looking for an inside ball carrier, and eventually it's taken up by Ngunyosa. Dolly not in touch. It'll be taken in by Shagan Vinfurkel. This is Eric van Vuren. With the long kick downfield, it's probably gone too far, and it'll be a province dropout.
Province really just one opportunity where they had some good ball, put phases together, but it's been all Free State here in the first 15 minutes of the game, putting a lot of pressure on, and having one try already in the bag.
That's an interesting call, scout your ball. And it wasn't. He got there, but he couldn't hang on. Taken on by Ngunyosa, who's been quite prominent in these early minutes. Advantage being played. Dolly, low. Quickly cleaned out. Dolly, Grant. And a little bit of space here. Duplessis getting the pass away to Frank Wachenstrom. And eventually in touch. Advantage has been deemed to have been received.
He's running across the field. Wachenstrom doing very well to come in on the inside. You can see he's got skill. Comes off both his feet very well. Super player. And what a big future lies ahead for this guy. Guilty of drifting. And there we see it, Wachenstrom just coming on the inside. Just look how quick he is off both feet. Keeping the ball alive.
Well, Peter Lowe thought it had all opened up in front of him, but it was a little knock forward, according to the referee. So it'll be a Free State put into the scrum.
Yes, big into schools in Paarl at the moment. Gym and Boys High. He was a former Boys High, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, there's a lot more Boys High pupils in the Western Province setup these days than Paarl Gym. Is that a source of discontent?
With certain people, yes.
Sorry?
I don't suppose you can get into Paarl on a day like today.
The Springboks there with Jake White yesterday, and they've had big brags each evening at the different schools, and a wonderful tradition that's still very, very much alive and kicking.
I suppose all the wine farms will have extra security staff on this weekend, will they?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
That's away. Engage. Just keep it steady. That's it.
Liebenberg with the feed.
Ball is out.
Pick up at the base by Swanepoel. Wasn't good ball for the eighth man to work with. Penalty though to Free State.
Hands out.
Ngunyosa away, stayed on his feet. Couldn't use his hands. Also former SA schools or SA Academy player. With my word, the pedigree of some of these players is unbelievable. I think they've got a list of basically behind every person here. They see him working hard, staying on his feet. Unfortunately, more than two guys that are ready formed. And you can't use your hands in a situation like that.
Swanepoel rins the line-out ball. Bosman with the flat pass, and it's taken up at pace by Jaco de Toy. Quickly available for Liebenberg, taken on by Wouter Moore. About 30 metres out in front of the post. Liebenberg taken on by de Toy. Oh, if that pass had gone straight to hand, there was trouble for Province. Liebenberg gets it back to Bosman. 3-on-3. Big tackle on Shagan Vinfurkel before he was really into his stride. And that's Peter Below being penalised, hands in the ruck.
That's for Storm. Okay, now
David Wessels.
you're playing from the side.
David Wesser has done his work here. They're very structured, Free State. They have designated runners, and this obviously comes from a guy like Rassie Rasmus, who, with David Wesser, coached the Currie Cup team. Well, his province just seemed to be at 6s and 7s. They've got a lot of different runners. Super tackle there by Sorrel Potgieter all over, like Alwyn Hollenbach. The referee calling them back for being offsides. And Free State just quietly taking control of the game. Lovely tackle. The Free State structure really coming through well here at the moment.
Now Bosman to regain that 7-point lead, and he has got it. Just snuck it in.
Yes, Mayor Bosman from Oakdale. They had 10 people in the Southwestern Districts team last year. Very, very powerful team. They got to the semi-finals where they lost to the Lions by a couple of points. And super player. Yeah, Oakdale really just put their heads up.
I'm glad you reminded me, because I was wondering where I'd seen him before. I saw him at George Airport last year in his SV Adair outfit, and he said, look out for me, because I'm going places. And here he is. Lovely to see.
Particularly schools like that, Andy, with not all the resources, doing so well. They had a long unbeaten run this year and last year, and it's good to see him really putting his hand up at the moment.
Liebenberg couldn't go anywhere. He was well policed there. It's still available. Out it comes from Bismarck du Plessis. Bosman with the long miss-out pass. There's space out wide here for Free State. Down the line it goes into the hands of Saneli Mkize. And he's in touch just inside province territory.
Well, Free State just taking the ball wide on that occasion. The Free State under 20 also played for the SA Academy team. I think Free State have also got to concentrate, particularly when they've got a lot of open space, to bring the ball back inside.
Good take by Peter Lowe. Dolly with the little flap on, which is taken by Gendre du Plessis. Province just struggling to keep the ball alive. Oh, brilliantly done by du Plessis. And unfortunately for him, it's been plucked out of the air. There was a little knock forward, though, by a Free Stater.
Yes, du Plessis really caught my attention last year at Craven Week. He enjoys running with the ball. Kicking is the second option. And we can already see in a couple of situations that he's had the ball here this afternoon. He backs himself and he's got speed. There's some good handling there by Western Province. Keeping both hands on the ball. Gain a little pick up by Dolly.
Here's Dolly. Not a good pass from the fly half, but it's been well tidied up by Sorrel Potgieter. Dug out by Bat. Quick hands there. And eventually it's du Plessis who gets the pass away to Wachenstrom. And Wachenstrom with a wonderful piece of finishing. Well, you've heard Andrew Patterson talking about this boy, and he's not the only one.
I thank Wachenstrom. Robert Jones from Wales always used to say when he played here, the cream always rises to the top. Well, the cream's risen to the top already for this young man. Super passage of play here. Gendre du Plessis just setting him up. Wachenstrom holding back, hand off, and just running off with a good little dive. Nothing too serious. Wachenstrom, what a class package.
Quickly down the line, and just watch. He knows exactly how he has to get across the line. He's got one man to beat, strong handoff, and he's there. What we love to see with wings of all ages, but particularly in kids, is how they finish.
Yes, Jacques Hannekom was also telling me earlier on, and Danny Jones, mentally very strong, good work ethic at practice, real model player. And a guy like that, you just hope he's really going to go all the way. The way he's doing it this afternoon, he's surely going to. Good try for Wachenstrom.
Back in play, and it's Wachenstrom who puts it into touch off the side of the boot, so he's not perfect. Who is? But yes, I suppose he would have been a tiny kid when Brayton Pulsar was first lighting up this stadium. I remember the first time I saw Pulsar here, and there'll be a few kids in the stadium now saying, I saw this lad called Wachenstrom, I want to be like him. Bosman, Dutoy, early tackle, but it's still available. taken on by Swanepoel. Bismarck Duplessis running into his captain at SA under-19 level last year. Out it comes from Liebenberg. A little bit of space out wide here for Free State. Straightening the line is Eric van Vuren. But Province getting wide quickly in defence. Liebenberg taken on by Larsen. Looking for a ball carrier and finds Wouter Moore. It's a big boy, isn't he? Out it comes. Bosman, Strauss. Good tackle from Dolly. Oh, blocking. That's the call there.
Bismarck Duplessis, one of the designated ball carriers, opting to pick it up himself. Wrong option. It was a static maul. That ball's got to come back. The Free State, with all the position that they've had, one criticism that I have, Andy, is that they're not staying on their feet. They're going to ground and they're just slaying up the ball. One would like to see them attacking the spaces more like the Free State team did the other day when they played SVD, even though they did lose. Very impressive how their backs attacked those spaces. And the forwards here in the back seem to be intent on just taking the man on. But it's still early days. It's their first match they've played together this year. So let's hope it improves from here.
Van Vuren getting a little bit of attention. He's up on his feet again. And this is an important scrum for Province. Put in by Bat. Round it goes. Free State getting the wheel. And there's trouble here for Province. It's turnover ball. Quickly out from Liebenberg. Bosman. He's within 5 metres. Slow ball coming out. Liebenberg has to give it back to the forwards. This is Larsen. Good little pass from Larsen under pressure. Picked up by Du Toit van Jaarsveld. And a penalty to Free State.
Well, the big Free State front row of Larsen, Duplessis and van Jaarsveld can take a bow for that. They're dominating the scrums up front. Schalk Ferreira is in all sorts of trouble here with Ibrahim Marut, and they need to regroup and sort this very important phase of their play out this afternoon.
There's a Province player who picked up an injury during that movement, but he's back on his feet. And Free State are going to kick it goal through Bosman.
There's super scrumming there. Just really nice and low body positions. They're working hard. And Western Province problems are they're not going in as a unit. Their body positions are too high. And Schalk Ferreira's really got to get his whole body position sorted out, that he can bind with his left arm. He's not binding with the left arm. It's on the ground. And that's a sure sign for anybody that he's taking strain up front. But it can be sorted out. They just need to fix it.
Bosman has missed his kick, so the scores remain level. A lot of these players will know each other reasonably intimately. Free State and Western Province do provide an awful lot of players for South Africa at age group level. Taken by Bat, and this is Dolly looking for some space. Enwil Alexander got man and ball though, and the forwards have to come and tidy up for Province. Turnover ball though, going forward with Free State.
Another situation with regard to Dolly, and it's positive criticism that he's drifting and giving the ball to a guy in a worse off position. He was got to, in a situation like that, take the ball up himself, even if he goes to ground, and he's just been guilty of drifting.
Yes, I think it's a very fair point. Swanepoel with the pickup. Liebenberg goes with him. 1-2 chase for Windvogel, but the ball wins, bouncing into touch 10 metres out.
I was surprising with that kick, particularly going for touch. They need to keep possession. They're looking dangerous when they do have the ball in hand. And Province lineouts up to now have been very good. Ibrahim Murat, also SA under 21.
David Sardi has been the main man that he's been throwing to, but on that occasion it's Jaden Hill who takes. Now it's turnover ball. Here goes Larsen. Oh, and a little knock forward there from Breedenham. Otherwise the line had opened up.
Yes, Larsen's really been an aggressive carrier of the ball. He's carrying the ball in one hand and chances of losing it. Obviously very, very good. We see him trying to offload there.
Oh, the province scrum has been demobilized and Lowe has gone without the ball. It's turned over. All sorts of trouble here, and it's a penalty to Free State.
Oh, another huge scrum there for Free State. They're just so organized. And good to see Bismarck Du Plessis back again. I wondered where he was, and David Wester said no, he's had a string of injuries. Well, you can see his power coming through and really dominating.
Was in besit van die bal. Ons gaan nou versigtig wees die volgende, maar wat weer oortree gaan ek 'n geel kaart. Okay, bly stil, right.
Well, the threat has been laid down by the ref.
Just here. Jammer meneer, jammer meneer. Jammer meneer.
All of the refs, they always say that the tournament they love to do is Craven Week, because when the whistle blows, everything stops. Which is not always the case in senior rugby.
I think each captain got 2 jammer meneers in there. I think certainly change in the higher levels, sure.
Bosman has pulled that one. He's not having a great couple of minutes with the boot. That's his second miss in the space of 5 minutes, and Free State forwards are not really getting the benefit of their ascendancy.
No, not at all.
And that's Liebenberg with the kick downfield. Province in a little bit of trouble.
That ball was out.
Peter Grant with a rare touch of the ball, and it's taken on by Murat. Good little delivery. Peter Lowe gets it wide, and this is Emil Alexander. He's got some wheels, but gives it on the inside to Ngunyosa. And it comes from Bat Sadi. Oh, he's upended by Larson, who's having a big game. It's turnover ball as well. Oh, Liebenberg's kicked it away. It's got to be the wrong option. And it's gone straight into touch as well.
Now, Sadi shouldn't have been there. Even they picked the ball up well. He got poleaxed there. There were 4 loose forwards and a prop waiting for him. That ball should have gone wide. And the scrum off, Devon Bat has to manage that situation a lot better. He's got to call those guys in, that they can take this Free State pack on. They mustn't stand out in the back line.
Murat with the feed. And that's not straight. Well, the province forwards are starting to struggle here against this very powerful Free State unit, and confidence is starting to suffer.
Let's watch clearly at the put-in, particularly. Let's watch Schalk Ferreira's left arm, if he can bind and get a good hit in, and that will certainly nullify this Free State team. Look how long Free State's in.
Yeah, went straight to floor, didn't it?
No, it's actually a penalty if any prop uses his hand. It's a penalty immediately. Let's see if the referee picks it up.
Well, in they go. And here go Free State. It's a back row move, and they've very quickly made 10 meters there. Now they need quick ball. Liebenberg with his hands on it, gives it to Bosman. Down the line it goes. Strauss trying to straighten the line. He's well policed. Peter Grant putting in a good tackle. Out it comes. That was Dutoy putting it on the boot. So a little bit of indiscriminate kicking from the Free Staters going on, and Jean-Andre Du Plessis loves it. As Andrew Patterson was saying, he doesn't like kicking, he likes running.
On the side. Play advantage, blue.
Here it is. Dolly. Oh, he had an overlap outside him there, and the referee will bring them back for a penalty.
Okay.
Jean-Andre Didier, unfortunately, Didier just getting tackled, but he had a super run there.
I'm out.
Backing himself, and if guys can just pick that ball up and go, you can really surprise a lot of teams. You see, he really just living himself. Dr. Craven always used to say, how you play is how you live. Just look at this guy, carefree, positive, taking himself, backing himself. That ball just getting tied up there. Province getting the penalty.
He's a pupil at NTK, is Duplessis.
Gauwer kom, captain. Okay.
Murat finds Sadi. Bat, Dolly, Grant. Stays on his feet well, and Potita finding Dolly. Ooh, Dolly actually confused himself there. He hit his own head.
Yes, one of the pass overhead, and I must say, while that move was going, Peter Grant, the man in action over there, Dolly wanted to have that overhead flip. Unfortunately, got his head in the way. But Peter Grant, even though it was only one Currie Cup game, must have huge confidence in himself, just offloading there to Dolly, but giving himself a pass in the middle of the house.
Swanepoel sets the phase. Bosman. That's a good kick from him. Yes, in fact, the two centres for Province in this game, Grant and Potita, play together for Stellenbosch. And they're both very, very good players, but they're not getting the sort of quality ball to dominate the game at the moment.
And the good ball they've had props and hookers and locks taking it.
Sadi wins at the tail. This is Dolly and Grant. He had a bit of impetus when he hit the tackle that time. Dolly. Bat. Sniping run from the scrum half. And good follow-up play as well. Taken on at pace there by Jaden Hill. And Wachenstrom couldn't hang on to the pass, but he did well to get it away to Duplessis. Just short of the Free State 22. There seem to be a couple of boots going in there. Bat. Dolly. Sadi. Oh, Bismarck Duplessis looked as if he was about to go offside there, but there'd been an earlier knock-on. Advantage being played to Free State. And Strauss hoofs it downfield. Wicked bounce. Well, there's Sarel Potita. I ran into him in Lusaka about a month ago, where he was playing for Western Province in the Sevens tournament that they have up there, and he looked a very balanced runner. Be very interested to see how he develops. No, there's just a injury to one of the Free Staters that is delaying play. Yeah, they're starting to come in now. I see some Bulls fans in amongst the Province supporters.
Must say, just success turns Loftus around from a couple of years ago till now. I think it's really been good for Pretoria and for the country as well, that they are forced to be reckoned with. There, Wachenstrom, but look how quickly he fixes it up again. Ball went behind him and quickly was there again.
Murat. Sadi. He's won 80% of Province's ball in the line-outs. Bat. Dolly. Wind behind it. That's a nasty kick, but beautifully taken by Eric van Vuren.
That ball was out. Let it go, Sarah.
Out it comes. Windforkel feeding Bosman. Free State straightening the line through Strauss. Over the halfway line. Liebenberg working the short side. This is Windforkel. Still in play. Wachenstrom takes them on. Oh, and he's got himself into a bit of trouble, but Duplessis runs out of it. Now, this is Karamarka. Oh, he's gone without the ball. But it's been tidied up by Jaden Hill. Back to Karamarka. Oh, there's sevens rugby being played here at the moment. And they go the other way. Dolly. Straight downfield. Only man at home for Free State is the eighth man, Rian Swanepoel. And he's done very well, because he's kicked that into Frank Wachenstrom, and it'll be a Free State line-out.
I sound like a gramophone, but Frank Wachenstrom again, just look at that long kick. Only person following up, Frank Wachenstrom, charged a kick down 4 meters. That is really good play. Consistently busy all afternoon.
Bosman. That's not his best kick. There's space here for Duplessis. We know what he's going to do as well. There he goes. Windforkel also knew what he was going to do. He might be penalised for not releasing. No, it's turnover ball instead. Now Hollenbach gets away. That's well kept in play by Liebenberg. Big chase. There are 3 Free State players there.
It's a run now, one.
All Province have managed to secure the ball on the ground. Dolly off the left foot. And that's, well, they played the get out of jail free card there, did Province. Now that is Sanelli Mkize, who's picked up an injury for Free State.
Good run there by Free State, little chip forward. And this is superb play by the big lock forward. Dived on that ball. And Province is very, very lucky to get out. Murat at scrum off. And Province just managing to save a potentially dangerous situation there.
Well, beg Sanelli Mkize's pardon. It was actually Lance Andrews who got injured on. We actually saw it on the replay there, and he's not going to be able to continue. He's leaving the field for Free State, and he'll be replaced probably by Emil Oosthuizen. Duplessis with the feed. Voter Moore was the man he aimed it at, but Jaden Hill wins it. Back it comes from Bat. Dolly couldn't hang on. Trouble here, but running out of trouble is Emil Alexander. This is Van Vuren. We'll see a big wall of blue and white hoops coming towards him, but he's done very well. Pick up and drive by Voter Moore. He's done very well at close quarters this afternoon. Out it comes quickly from Liebenberg. Bosman finding his captain. Strauss is within 20 metres now. Taken on by Vinfurkel.
There we go.
Bosman. Oh, a little chip through from Swanepoel. Karamarka is back for Province though.
It worked early on, didn't work this time. Karamarka covering well.
Ishmael Dolly with the dropout. I think when he looks back on his first half, he'll be a bit disappointed. He hasn't had great ball to work with, but I don't think he's really controlled the game in the manner that he would have wished.
Not at all. He's been indecisive this afternoon and always looked for option B to give to someone else. And I think he could have definitely, Andy, taken more control of the game, particularly attacking and taking the ball up.
Well, you can see from there that Free State is struggling on their own ball. Bismarck Duplessis missed his first 2 throws through not straight. And that's a good take by Peter Lowe. Murat with the pass to Dolly. Taken on by Karamarka. Starting to come more into the game. Dolly, quick. Hauled down from behind by Strauss, and the penalty goes against the next man in.
That's the captain, Scott Ferreira, diving on the ball. He has to stay on his feet, and well, Jean Duplessis did not have any other options there. Took 2 men on there. We see him diving on. You've got to stay on your feet.
Oh, if I was the coach watching that piece of footage, I'd be having a word. Oh, that is so old-fashioned. That went out with the hula hoop.
The rinderpest. It's interesting possession. Free State got the edge. Basically, they've got the edge, but particularly across the gain line, 78%. Basically, Free State also must be disappointed that they haven't got more to show with all that possession. 10 all. Attacks close and wide, which also shows you what Free State done. 28. Versus there were single figures of Western Province of 8 or 9.
Yeah, also showed that rather unlike what we normally see from Free State sides, that they're attacking through the middle rather than out wide. Duplessis returns that kick that didn't go out with a certain amount of interest. He gets good applause from his pack. Shortened line out for Free State.
1, 2, 3.
Looks like it's going to Votermore at the tail, and he takes cleanly. Liebenberg, Bosman, Dutoy.
Now that's fine, he's on his feet, play on.
Looks like it might be turnover ball for Province here.
Now
No,
you knock it on.
there's a little
Went
nudge
forward from the
forward.
blue end. Kijk, kom ons met Stolber. Hy raak was nog nie gevorm nie. Hy's op
A lot of talking going on there.
Okay, kom ons bly stil.
The Pitala actually stopped. Someone said it's a penalty, and he actually stopped. The referee didn't blow the whistle. A lot of talking going on.
Ball is out.
Swanepoel with the pickup under a certain amount of pressure. Manages to hang on and set the next phase. Liebenberg, Bosman. That's a well-angled kick from Bosman. Duplessis did what he doesn't like to do and did it well. Duplessis takes it quickly. There goes the hooter as Mayor Bosman takes it up for Free State. Big lad for a fly half. Liebenberg. Oh, brilliant work. Little wrap-around move, and then it's taken on at pace by Breedenham. Up to the 22-metre line. Out it comes to Bosman. Taken up by Hollenbach.
No, that's fine.
Liebenberg.
Play advantage.
It's 3-on-3.
Advantage over.
It'll chip through, and Yandre Duplessis gets it off the park. That'll be the end of the first half. So an entertaining first half, and at the break it's 10-all. And I would feel that Free State's coaching team will be a bit distraught that they're not well ahead in this game. Their Province forwards have struggled in the set pieces, but at the break it is 10-10. Don't go away though, we'll be back with more. Welcome back to Newlands. Half-time in this under-20 match between Investec Western Province and Free State. And it's 10-all, but really, you'd have to say that Free State have dominated the game. Neither side is on the field as yet, but interestingly enough, the Bulls team is still out there. They're actually practicing ahead of the big game. Well, there's the possession summary. And as you can see, the lineouts have been a bit of a problem for Free State. Here come Western Province, and Andrew Patterson with me. The Province scrum needs to pull its socks up.
Yes, they've been hammered in the scrums, particularly Skalk Ferreira with his binding. They need to get a lot lower, and I'm sure the experienced coach of Jacques Hannekom would have identified that, said, guys, we need to get lower, we need to attack them and nullify this really confident tight five, which is ably led by Bismarck Duplessis. Disappointing, as we said earlier, that Free State haven't got more points on the board. They've had most of the possession, and Free State really have must be disappointed with only 10 points. It's been particularly impressive from the Western Province team. He's been Frank Wachenstrom has really stood out head and shoulders as our man of the match so far.
So where we go again. Dolly goes down the middle, taken in by Swanepoel. He was a little bit upright as he went into that tackle. Bosman and Hollenbach taken on then by Mkize.
Get away, Blue.
Quickly available. Bosman couldn't hang on, but it's not gone forward.
No advantage.
There was a knock forward by Western Province though, and it'll be a Free State put in.
Free State making the intentions known very early in the second half, taking the ball wide, close to their try line. A bit of scrappy play from them, forwards in the scrum off position.
Well, still problems for the Province scrum. Bosman, bit of a scruffy kick. Frank Wachenstrom has to readjust. And quite happy to take the bigger men on. Gets it up to halfway. turnover ball, but advantage being played. There were hands in.
First inference, you must get away quicker. Get away quicker.
Dolly kicking into the wind in this second half. Now the Province line-out worked pretty well in the first half. Most of the ball being won by David Sardi, the man on your screen. He's standing at the tail in this one, and it's aimed at Peter Lowe but thrown away. Larson won it without having to jump for it. Swanepoel took it forward.
That's a more.
Liebenberg. Bosman. He hooked that one quite badly.
It didn't work out well, but more importantly for Western Province, they missed the line-out throw. There is a strong breeze blowing from right to left, and Ibrahim Marat to lefty throw his balls at either number 2 or 4 and maybe use the back as a last resort.
Sardi wins. Bat. Didn't have too many options there. Oh, Scott Ferreira comes through for Western Province. Couldn't manage to stay in field, so they'll come back for a scrum down. Maybe Province would have preferred the line out.
No options there for the young bat. The messy passage of play. And Scott Ferreira, the bullock in drive, but been driven into touch.
Lowe feeding his scrum half, and here's Peter Grant. Stepping on the inside is Saro Potita.
That's a rock wide.
Dolly.
Okay, that's fine, play hard.
And it was a big hit on Ngunyosa. Dolly. Lowe through the hands quickly to Duplessis. Try. Brilliant finishing as well. He aquaplaned over.
Jean-Andre Duplessis just stamping his class on the game, finished it off very well, but a couple of passages of play, set phases, that Province managed to hang on to the ball, and they've given the Jean-Andre Duplessis just enough space. And Dolly did also well there, even though he drifted a bit. The guy that took the ball came on straight, and that was probably the best passage of play they've had this afternoon, and a good try for them.
Yeah, it came from first phase ball as well, with the scrum. It wasn't a right shoulder, it was a left shoulder. And right out on the touchline, Ishmael Dolly is going to try and convert this man's try.
What a pleasure for a coach to have guys like Jean-Andre Duplessis and Wachenstrom in the ranks at the back.
Dolly's kick is not good, but Province, with that try, are in front for the first time in the game.
Nice little switch. This was the trick which did very well. Old Sorrel Potgieter managed to hang on to that ball. Quick second phase ball. And Dolly popping it in again. Big tackle there taken by Tobelo Ngunyosa. And then they took the ball wide, and Jean-Andre Duplessis over for Province's second try.
Ngunyosa was the man who got hit back there, but it's going to work out for Province as back comes away with the ball. Here goes Karamarka. Oh, made an error there. Had to come in field and went out instead.
Karamarka reminds me of Andre Venter. Incredibly strong, big bullock in, loose forward, but very well tackled by a Free State defender. Didn't pick out who it was, and just shadowing the big man out, took him low and worked him out.
Trouble for Free State on their lineouts again, but got a chance to run it back now. Strauss trying to straighten the line, wriggling his way out of one tackle, and then it's driven on by Bismarck Duplessis. Just shy of halfway now. Liebenberg, Strauss, and this is Vinforkel. Forward ball comes flying out. Referee will not allow any advantage there. It is a penalty against Province.
Love you.
Mayor Bosman will set the line out. Unfortunately, the rain seems to have subsided, but the turf is wet. It's good to see these two teams really playing good attacking rugby. I think 2 days ago we wondered if it was even going to be a match.
Taken at the tail by Votamoor and then driven on by Jan du Toit van Jaarsveld. Liebenberg, Bosman, brilliantly picked up. Oh, this is wonderful stuff. Van Vuren gets an outstanding try.
Well, Van Vuren picked up a very, very difficult ball. Straight Elric van Vuren picked that ball up, backed himself, and over he went. Superb pass. Was actually a skip pass. Was meant for the play, and Elric van Vuren right there just handled that so fantastically. He was near the line, the defence started to drift across and he went over, and Free State within a matter of minutes right back up with Western Province.
Yeah, scores level. Not an easy kick for Mayor Bosman, and it looked as if there was actually an error in the ball carrying in that back line, but it just showed what can happen if somebody does hang on to a pass not intended for them. Bosman's kick goes wide and the scores are level again.
That was this long pass actually meant for the centre, and Van Vuren with his looming on the outside. He had a man on the outside as well. I think he actually surprised himself. That was superb skill.
So a couple of tries for each team as Dolly gets it going again. Taken by the scrum half Liebenberg, and he decides to open things up, and here goes the try scorer Elric van Vuren, taken on by Hollenbach, and this is Mkize. Mkize is well policed by Frank Wachenstrom out on the 10-metre line.
Yes, Mkize never had any space to move, and the ever-present Wachenstrom right on the button.
Well, there's the try scorer, Elric van Vuren. Just looks as if he might have damaged a finger. Now, Free State are making a change, and on comes Emil Oosthuizen, wearing number 19. Not quite sure who he's going to replace. I think Lance Andrews. Tail ball for Peter Lowe. Well taken by Jaden Hill. Just short of halfway, back to Ungunyosa. Bat is wrapped up. Dolly has to come in at scrum half, but then it's taken at pace by Peter Grant. Bit of go forward here, one to chase, and in touch 20 metres from the Free State line. Bismarck Duplessis with the feed, taken by Votamoor. Liebenberg working the short side, didn't have too many options there. A human missile came across his path there in Tabela Ungunyosa, and I think Ungunyosa has done himself a mischief. He's being attended to just on the... There we go. But play continues. Peter Lowe takes it for Province. Out it comes from Bat to Dolly. Grant. Good tackle from Strauss. Out it comes. Bat. Dolly. Duplessis. Lovely running from the fullback.
Oh, Duplessis just takes every ball at pace. Very elusive. Just came in so straight there. And again, Peter Grant and Cyril Potgieter guilty of drifting. They did so well. Look how they straightened that up completely. But good defense again prevailed.
Well, here's Duplessis starting another movement. Peter Grant getting the outside break. Wachenstrom! Easy one for the flyer. Try number 3 for Province. Try number 2 for Wachenstrom.
Let Wachenstrom just shine number 2. And he'll get used. You can almost see him in 3-4 years' time, if not earlier. Running back in a full Newlands, signaling 2 tries. Good play. The man that passed him did all the damage. He pulled in the defending wing, Sonny Lemkiza. He should have stayed with Frankie. And Frankie Boy over for try number 2. Give him space. You're in big trouble.
So you reckon Frankie's going to go to Hollywood, do you?
It's just so good to see guys like him and Jean-Andre Duplessis just having fun, enjoying themselves, expressing themselves. It comes naturally, this young guy as well. It's in their blood. And I forespell huge things for these youngsters playing here this afternoon.
This is a tough kick into the wind. And he's pulled it. Very difficult conditions, but Wachenstrom's try has put Province back into a 5-point lead.
It was Cyril Potgieter who deserved a pat on the back. 2 defenders, and just popped that ball out to Frank Wachenstrom. He's really making most of these wet conditions with his try scoring.
Bosman just overhitting his restart kick a little bit. Dolly not in touch. Liebenberg, and here's Elric van Vuren. That's not his best kick, but it might work because Chagan Windforkel takes it out of the air. Oh, a little knock forward there with the try line actually beckoning.
Free State have had the opportunities. There's been no question about that. They have not finished off well. This is a superb play. Well picked up by Shannon Windforkel. And again, that elusive final pass.
Well, that scrum has gone flying round. Bat, Dolly, straight down the middle. Oh, and that's a late tackle, surely. Linston Manuels has said play on. And now advantage being played. There is none, so they'll come back for the put into a Free State scrum. But I must say, I think Dolly would have had a point in claiming a penalty there.
Angelo Bobbitz from Tigerberg. He's got a bit of a lummy on his leg.
That's Emil Oosthuizen who's receiving the attention. Just turned an ankle, I think. Problem is, he's only just come on.
Shouldn't say the same. His jersey's still lily white.
Don't forget that we've got the big game coming up for you, Western Province against the Bulls, and then next Friday, 7 o'clock game on Supersport is another big one. Sharks Bulls from the ABSA Stadium in Durban. Always a good game between those two sides. Back it comes from Liebenberg to Bosman. Crash ball was for Van Vuren. And Free State did well to tidy up there. Good work by Jaco de Toy, the flank forward. Turnover ball though. Province come away with it. Chances here. And they were rather crowded in midfield there. Got in their own way.
That's what I've been saying, Andy. Got forwards in the back line and they do not belong there. It's really broken the rhythm of the Western Province team in particular. And with those breakdown points, those forwards are needed there. And that's something Jacques Hannekom, I'm sure, will address when he sees the video. A guy like him probably this evening.
There's that big Free State front row. When I say big, you see how the hooker, Bismarck du Plessis, towers over his two prop forwards. He's always been a big lad.
They're all meat eaters, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah, I don't suppose there's too many vegans amongst them there. Another big scrum.
Definitely a few T-bones will go down for those chaps in a week. And they're loving it, they're enjoying it, they're in control. Roel Larson played for Grey first team. He's been in superb form here this afternoon. That's a better scrum by Western Province.
Oh, and it's turnover ball. Liebenberg comes away with it. Emil Oosthuizen tries to win it on the deck. Karamarka challenging for Province. Bismarck du Plessis showing a bit of gas. Liebenberg, Bosman takes them on. He's well wrapped up there. Free State options either side here. Strauss. That's a very well placed kick, but du Plessis does brilliantly, and watch him go! He might go all the way! Du Plessis! Oh, in touch on the halfway line, and Elric van Vuren got his opposite number. A couple of Free Staters receiving attention.
I think what happened there, Bismarck was actually going for the ball. This is off. Jean du Plessis has really been a revelation here this afternoon. Him and Frank Wachenstrom have done so well. Hang on to the ball. There's Bismarck going for the ball, and he's keeping it away. A little bit of an Oscar there from Jean.
Yeah,
I mean, there was
I thought you'd spot that.
There was no pushing at all, and he just fell back.
Yeah, hookers never do anything wrong, do they?
No,
since the invention of the game, nobody wearing a number 2 has ever sinned.
I've got to stand up for Bismarck. But those are big guys, under 20. Those, I don't know the guys' weights, but they're all in excess, well in excess of 100 kilograms.
Well, I can tell you that when Bismarck du Plessis played Craven Week 2 years ago, he was 100 kilos then. And he's probably gone up a little bit since then. He's obviously grown in height since then as well. And I just wonder whether he might not end up somewhere else than hooker. I mean, can it be a problem when you have a tall guy at hooker?
No, well, I was quite a bit taller than the props as well. I think he can do well. I think I've always said it's a team effort in how you manage scrumming in the front row. But if you have a big neck and you're quite a strong guy, you can actually make it an advantage to you. But it's just good. I'm just see that all three are ex-Grey players as well. They all played Craven Week. I think they all played SA schools, and you can see they're actually working well as a unit. I think that's been the big trick here this afternoon.
Botha Moore takes Liebenberg to Bosman. Miss out pass, and up at pace there was Alwyn Hollenbach.
Let it go, Blue!
Free State showing a lot more purpose now. Liebenberg, Moore. It's a good drive from the lock forward. Jaco du Toit working the short side, gets it away to Liebenberg. He's got the extra man. And Kieser comes on the inside. Tackled by Wachenstrom. Back it comes to Bosman. They've got extra men here. Strauss. Hollenbach cutting on the inside. Gets it away to Van Vuren. It's gone forward. They've thrown one in the bin.
It's my call. Okay.
These are those finishing passes which has really been a nail in the coffin for a number of tries for Free State. There's a perfect example as well. Should have just hung on to that ball. All the support was coming in. It was a loose pass. And Alwyn Hollenbach just making a bit of a hash of that. And Ulrich, the ever-present Ulrich van Vuren. It's been a good tussle between these two fullbacks. And Ulrich van Vuren just overrunning his mate. In that situation, should have just hung on to the ball. But we've seen stranger things happen in rugby. We're 22 minutes down.
Wait for the ball. Engage. Wait for the ball, Blue.
Trouble for the Province scrum here. Oh, they've gone around like a spinning jenny. Turnover ball.
Yeah. Free State fully in control in the front row. And another huge mess. And that is where a guy like Ibrahim Murat, Schalk Freire, the captain, have got to get the guys together and say, come guys, we can fix it in the next scrum here.
Free State looking for the pushover. Pick up at the base.
Okay, now it's not holding. Ball is out. Play on. Okay, let it go now.
Driven on by Larsen.
There it is.
Wouter trying to drag it out.
Last beat here, Blue.
Liebenberg, Bosman, Strauss. A little bit ponderous in the back line.
Okay, roll away now, 8.
Good defence from Province. Moore, he's got good power in the drive.
That's a rock, Blue.
Liebenberg, Strauss, Van Vuren. He's still going, and he's got there. The last one was turned down for a forward pass, so he decided to hang on.
Well, they say he scored tries by being where the ball is. There was no luck in that. He has worked incredibly hard here this afternoon. As Andy mentioned early, a couple of minutes earlier, he overran the ball. Well, he was right on target. Some poor tackling by Western Province. Really, even Frankie there wasn't too sure what to do. They just hung on for a little while. And Ulrich van Vuren over for a very good try. And again, Free State right back in the mix.
Well, 20 all. And this is for the lead. That's the 4th try for Western Province. So they'll, for Free State I should say, they'll have a bonus point for that. Bosman's kick, no, pushed it.
Yes, Ulrich van Vuren, also a superb player. He's also impressed me this afternoon, and he looks for work, he's busy, and much in the same mould as Jean du Plessis. Got 2 wonderful players here. This is where the defence was poor from Western Province. Sorrel Potgieter slipping. Wachenstrom came in on the inside. And Ulrich van Vuren just saying, well, I'm going to just do it myself and make sure we get this one.
Clean take at the restart by Wouter Moore, who's really coming more and more into this game. He's a bit of a beanpole, but he's got some power. Liebenberg, Bosman, Strauss. Oh, good kick from Strauss. He's played inside centre all the way through, school career and up. And he's certainly the brains in the back line.
He's played for a Free State under 20 last year. You can definitely see there's a nice mature feel about his play. Very solid player. And obviously SA under 21 as well.
Mature feel about the beard as well. How old were you when you had a beard?
No, not then. No. Patchy. As you see, in those days it was very patchy.
Bum fluff. Murat, Sadi and Ferreira getting his scrum half away. This is Strauss, middle of the park. Liebenberg has got options either side. Bosman. Oh, he's been unlucky there. That was nearly an outstanding interception, but instead this is Shagan Vinfurkel coming away with the ball, and he kicks it away to Younger. Advantage being played, and there is none. So it'll be a penalty to Province, taken quickly. Bat to chase for the corner here. Who's going to win? Du Plessis got there, and I think the ball was touching goal.
Okay, you sure? Okay.
Well, there is a TMO, but the touch judge says he's sure that the ball was out first. Let's have a look. Oh, no problem.
Well picked up. Linesman already shaking his head.
Nice to see a linesman making a decision. We've seen rather too many who take the soft option.
Quite right. The linesman adamant, I'm sure it was not out.
Well done, sir. The ball was out, says the referee, so no penalty. Next phase is set by the Free State forwards. Now it comes out to Meyer Bosman. This is Strauss, Hollenbach, Strauss, still going, and unfortunately it came off the side of the boot.
That ball was out. Good play there by Divan Bat. As Lippenberg is taking too long.
Oh, it's a poor throw. One at the tail by Rashid Isaacs for Free State. Back it comes to Strauss. They're queuing up on the outside. He decides to put it on the boot though, and Duplessis comes up to win it, but it's been ripped out of his hands, and this is Strauss taken on then by Breedenham. They're within 10 metres, Free State. It's still available, and a penalty has gone for Province.
Number 8 was on his feet.
That was well called by the referee. Again, a good decision. Lowe was on his feet, and the player was, the gentleman there was clearly holding the ball. Jan de Toy van Jaarsveld, carefully on his feet, and there you can see you can see with his right hand just quietly holding it down. Yeah, good decision.
The impressive thing there was that Lowe was the tackler, and he then disengaged, got back to his feet, and could play the ball. That's good understanding of the laws.
Fly out and wing.
Taken by Jaden Hill, another of the SA Schools players in this Western Province side. Dolly has found touch. And having mentioned Jaden Hill, I better mention that he went to Glenwood, otherwise John Allen will shoot me. I'm scared of hookers.
No, you don't have to be. And you can move closer now.
Line out for scrum. We have a scrum.
Andy, where was Craven Week 2 years ago?
Maritzburg. Outstanding Craven Week 2 years ago, actually. A number of players who played in that one, I think, are going to become big stars. Grant, he was one of them. Captain Maritzburg College and Natal Schools. Earl Rose, he played Craven Week for Western Province in Maritzburg, and he managed to fool me because he had a skull cap where he'd sewn some dreadlocks onto the back, so he looked a different man if he had it on or off.
There it is. That ball was out. Now play on.
Turnover ball. Bat. Foot in touch.
That ball was out. Okay. Time off. Just come up, get the numbers.
Couple of replacements coming on for Province.
9 and 4 blue.
Redan Damon is number 20. Adrian Penhorn
39
is number 21. Did that go into touch? Didn't look like it, did it?
Okay. Hold it. Straight.
Bismarck Duplessis. Oh, Province jumper got in front there. Scott Ferreira takes it forward. Now he's got a release. And it comes from the new scrum half, Damon. And here he goes again. Dolly quickly through the hands. Outstanding pickup on the run there, and then it's taken on by Karamarka. Out there on the left wing is Enwell Alexander. And there he is at scrum half. Advantage being played to Province, and now they will have a chance to kick it goal.
Andy, there again is a perfect example of forwards in the back line where they shouldn't have been, and Peter Lowe, the culprit there. Fortunately, they have a penalty. I think it has really been a big Achilles heel in the Province game this afternoon. They just haven't had that rhythm. When they have had it, they haven't been forwards in the back line, and they've surely needed higher up. Again, just overrun, shouldn't have been there. Dolly didn't know he was on the outside. Not good communication.
Now Dolly has a chance to take Province back in front. So it's not an easy kick in these conditions. A really strong gusting wind into his face. And has he got it? Yes! Province lead.
It's Andy, bitterly cold here. I wonder when they're going to close this in and have air conditioning for the games.
Anybody from Investec watching? Back it comes from Sadi.
Wide, that ball is out. Get away now, wide. Still around.
Dug out by Murat.
Now they're fine, you have your chance. Last speed.
Damon. Nganyoma.
Okay, that's a rock, wide.
Good tackle from Larson, but here's Dolly. That's not the best placed kick. Van Vuren, little chip. Duplessis is opposite number underneath it, all the time in the world. Dolly then decides to have a look, and here goes Duplessis. Oh, brilliantly claimed out of thin air there. That was Haste Breedenham. Turnover ball. What can Free State do with it? Strauss taken on by Isaacs. Good hands from him. Dutoy and Mkize inside Province's 22. Free State a little slow in getting to the breakdown. Liebenberg, Bosman. Oh, he's given a forward pass.
Forward pass in. A knock on. The scrum blew your ball.
So the referee just quickly added on to say forward pass and a knock on, because I think he actually backed himself there. As he covered himself, he had knocked it on, but I don't believe that was a forward pass either.
There's been a lot of injuries in this game.
Interesting, David Wesser and Ingo Max, they are both teachers at Grey Bloem. Jacques Hannekom from Paul Roos. Paul Roos play Grey Bloem next week, so they'll be head on next week, Saturday afternoon as well.
That'll be a good game. No, that's Derek Hokard. Didn't recognize him. Funky new hairstyle, Derek. Alumni of Bullen Lambo, and of course from Piketberg.
So the well-known wheat and apple grape producing area.
The ball is in. Engage. Get the binding you do. Use it now, blue. Ball is out.
And it comes from Damon, Grant, Alexander. He's got wheels. Oh, that's gone forward. Free State reclaim it through Liebenberg. It's just looking a little scrappy though. Down the line it comes. They'll come back for the first knock on.
No advantage. Time off. 10 blue.
And Province making a change at fly half. Ishmael Dolly is off, and Albertus Delport is on. Now I'm interested to see this because he was also at Craven Week 2 years ago, playing for Eastern Province.
Last year as well.
And last
year as well.
No.
Great PE boy. And a very, very useful player as well.
Pick up at the back by Isaacs.
That's a run now, blue. Ball is out.
Liebenberg, Bosman. Hollenbach did well. Van Vuren joining the line-up. Pace gets the pass away to Bosman. He's surrounded by blue and white jerseys. He's done well to make the ball available. Liebenberg, Strauss. Big line of defenders coming up into the face of the Free Staters. Liebenberg, Van Vuren couldn't hang on. Still going forward, a Free State. There's the try line in the background.
That's it.
Liebenberg, Bosman, Moore. Forward. Yeah. I think the ref was right on that occasion.
Slightly forward.
Well, Free State are their own worst enemies in this game. They've had lots of ball and lots of scoring opportunities. That's Peter Lowe receiving some attention, but they really have not made the most of those scoring opportunities.
I'm just here through the referee's microphone saying, ek kry krampe. I think, yes, obviously cramp at the moment. They haven't played much, but they've got 7 weeks in a row that they'll be playing. There you can see him, his left leg, I think, a little bit tight.
It's one of those things, cramp. Everybody laughs at it. When you've got it, it is so painful.
No, that's not steady.
Again, Free State showing tremendous domination in the scrums. It's been an area of Province's play that they've really battled, and they haven't been able to sort out. But despite that, they're still leading by 3 points.
That's it. Put it in our line.
Damon.
Standing, use it now. Ball is out.
Oh, first touch of the ball has been a bit of a disaster for Albertus Delport. Free State come piling through.
Ball is out.
And they've done well, Province, to get that ball into touch.
There was 8 or 6 minutes left to bring a new player on. Very, very difficult to slot in, particularly in the weather's cold. It's a difficult game. But Delport managed to get out of jail there.
Wait. Go move over. At the back also. Wait, do. Move over.
Wouter Moore calling for it at the tail of the Free State line. Isaacs, Dutoy, Bismarck Duplessis. Nothing he enjoys more than running at backs. Got within 10 metres. Liebenberg, Bosman. They've got extra men out wide here. Strauss trying to straighten the line. It should have gone through the hands. Vinforkel was unattended. Here he is on the ball now. And this is Mkize. Still looking for a chance in the right-hand corner.
Get away, Blue!
Province doing well to get their defence across there. Free State using the width of the field.
That's it. Ball is out. Hands on the ball.
Liebenberg. Meyer. Oh, it's another forward pass.
And again, you've got a forward in the back line. Judgment wasn't right. The Flav didn't know about it either. And again, it's about the 10th time that it's actually happened. They've got to stay out of the back line. Angle was wrong, and again, at a vital stage, it could cost him the game.
Okay, right.
Otherwise, he had a good game, but he just got to get out of the back line, that's all.
Okay.
So Free State have surrendered possession again. They could have scored in either corner and didn't do. They still trail by 3 points.
The scrums have been good there. They've dominated the whole afternoon.
Put it in now, strong.
Round they go again. It's turnover ball. Karamarka got a hand on it. And Province have done well to drive over. This is Duplessis, still trying to run at this late stage of the game.
He's full of tricks, old Jean-Ray Duplessis. Had a particularly good game this afternoon.
There's a little crackle of electricity every time he touches the ball, isn't there?
Without a doubt. A lot of magic regarding to that gentleman.
So 2 front row replacements coming on. Again, one wonders quite why so late in the game. Ian Matthew and Charlton van Fake for Ibrahim Murat and Scout Ferreira.
Nothing straight. You have a choice. Okay, let's have a scrum.
The mistake starting to appear now is going to cost them dearly.
Yes, I want it inside arm. Okay.
So first scrum with a new front row. Let's see how Province do.
I tell you to wait for time on. Engage.
No, still
use it now.
Free State are ruling in the tight phases. Back it comes, the dive pass from Damon. Delport goes down the middle of the field. Oh, a horrible bounce. Van Vuren takes it on the run and then gets hit twice. Penalty to Free State.
feet.
4 minutes left in the game. They trail by 3.
Coming over the top. 1. No, get away.
Bosman's going to set up the line out. Has he found touch? Yes, good kick.
Van Vuren again aggressively taking the ball up. Western Province off their feet. Blocking the ball.
That's better. Play on.
Tail ball won by Emil Oosthuizen. Big tackle in the middle of the park there. I think there might have been a clash of heads. Meyer Bosman losing the ball backwards. Wouter Moore wins it back on the deck for Free State. Bosman quickly through the hands from Van Vuren. Extra man here. Strauss has gone straight through the middle though. He gets it to 5 meters.
Get away now, Blue.
Can they release the ball quickly? Yes. Liebenberg. Larson. And Free State will have a put into the scrum. Well, are they going to finish it in the grand manner with a pushover?
What a decisive break by Strauss. Big strong player, kept the ball. Fortunately, Free State not making a hash of that. They have the put in and they have a very, very strong scrum, and I suspect they'll be going for a pushover.
Got 2 minutes left.
Well, 2 minutes is the call from the referee. Match to be won here. Free State forwards have ruled the roost, but
We are
I think
almost
to be
2 minutes left.
harsh but fair, their backs haven't done enough with the ball.
Wait for your locks.
Oh, the call is pigs by the sound of it.
Hold. Okay.
Forks.
Okay, use it. Ball is out.
Oh, Western Province managed to disrupt the scrum there, and that might just win the game for them.
That was a ball.
Yes.
Right? I call it a ball.
Well, Western Province, the most important scrum of the day, they've really risen up, and the 2 replacements have really earned their spurs out. And the first scrum wasn't good, second one was good. They've got the turnover. More importantly, they need a good right shoulder now.
There was a cry of anguish from this side of the scrum as they went down.
I want you steady before the ball is coming.
Now Van Jaarsveld, a very aggressive scrummer. Watch how he goes in with his barn.
Hold it, Blue. That's it.
Province scrum going backwards at pace, and it's turned over a second time. Still a chance for Free State in this game.
I told you to use it. The ball was under your feet.
Bismarck du Plessis was screaming something at his back line there.
Get your shoulder out. Get your
If it was me, it would be don't expect to see the ball again.
Stop pushing, Blue. Now pushing before the time.
Free kick. Bismarck du Plessis has taken over the captaincy by the looks of things.
He must call a scrum. He should call a scrum.
Well, they're not going to scrum it. They're going to charge it.
Wait. Sit. Hey, get away, Blue. Sit.
Bosman. Dutoy. Van Vuren. Oh, no. It's a forward pass.
That ball went forward. Sorry,
Can you Adam and Eve it? And there goes the hooter for the end of the game. Well, that has got to be controversial. You can't help but say Linston Manuels is arguing with the players, but at the end of the day, Free State are going to have to put up with the fact that this is deemed to be forward. Let's see where it is. Yeah, well, I think it probably was. That could have won the game, and instead it lost the game. Western Province have been pushed off the ball all afternoon, but they've won the game by 23 points to 20. I think the Free State Type 5 will be wondering how on earth that happened. But Western Province did good things when they had the ball. That's it for now. 23-20.